Unusual accidents and deaths. Many people are interested in stories of unusual accidents. Some of these stories have happy endings, but some, unfortunately, have unhappy ones.
Unhappy endings. According to the legend, the ancient Greek playwright Aeschylus was killed when an eagle dropped a tortoise on his head. The bird was trying to break the tortoise's shell on a rock in order to eat it. Aeschylus was bald, and the eagle thought the unfortunate man's head was a good rock on which it could break the shell. An 8-foot-tall ostrich was seen weaving through heavy traffic on a Saudi Arabian highway near Abha. One of the drivers filmed the scene and uploaded it on the internet. No one tried to stop and catch the 180-kilo bird that was taller than humans and ran at almost 70 kilometers per hour. It had probably escaped from a farm and ran into heavy traffic instead of the wild. Some people worry about being hit from things falling from outer space. There is only one person in all recorded history who has been killed by a meteorite. Manfredo Satala. The tragedy happened in 1680. Ahmed Ali lost his 8-year-old son in a drowning accident at a friend's house. His son had been invited to join other children at a friend's house to play and swim in the pool. According to the invitation, a lifeguard was going to be present. The young boy was really excited and begged his father to let him go. So Ahmed Ali picked him up from school and drove him to his friend's house before 1 p.m. That was the last time he saw him alive.
Happy endings. A German soldier was riding in the back seat of a World War I plane when the engine stalled as the result of an unusual gust of wind. He fell out of his seat while the plane was high above the ground. As he was falling, the plane's engine started again, and he landed back in his own seat. The pilot was then able to land the plane safely. Bob Hale jumped out of an airplane in November 1972, but his main parachute failed to open. His backup parachute also failed. Bob dropped about 3,000 feet, 900 meters, at 80 miles, 128 kilometers per hour, and hit the ground face first. After a moment, he got up and walked away with only minor injuries. It was an amazing escape. In September 2007, Phil LaMattina escaped death while he was driving at over 300 miles, 500 kilometers per hour in a drag race in Brisbane, Australia. Phil was racing down the track when his car became airborne, split in two, and burst into a fireball. He was knocked out, but he survived. Although he was in the midst of the ball of fire, Phil was burned only on the tip of his finger. When his brothers later showed him the video of the accident, Phil couldn't believe he was watching himself, and that he had such a lucky escape. Railroad worker Phineas P. Gage was working with some dynamite when it exploded unexpectedly. A bar that was 3 feet 1 meter long and that weighed 13 pounds 6 kilograms went clear through his head. He remained conscious, but was unable to see out of his left eye. After a while, his sight returned and he fully recovered.